All right, guys, we're just gonna go live here for a few minutes, maybe an hour. I don't know. I'm just starting to work here, getting ready for market season. I now have 2 a month coming up for at least the fall. So that might be kind of fun just to jump in here and work with you guys. It's been a while, hasn't it? So let's see if anybody joins me. If not, it's all good. You guys can watch the replay. Not sure how often I'm going to do this. Hopefully, the new mic will make things a little easier as well. And yeah, so I'm changing things up just a little bit. Lost with Joanne's leaving, I lost my fabric supply that I make my t-shirts and my bummies out of for market. And I've got 10 bolts, so I'm okay for a little while. And everything else I'm finding out there, I just don't love. That fabric I got at Joann's was really nice. So having to think about that in the long term, and also getting my website back up again, getting Etsy running, that kind of thing. And I think I'm going back to what I used to do on Etsy, which was baby shoes. And then I'll also add some things like some plushies in there. I used to do linen pants for like weddings or vacations. They were just a pull on with a drawstring. And I think I'm going to put those back up because those did really well as well. And so, kind of planning towards that. I've got some shoe patterns I've had for a little while that I want to do. Plus, I want to get my own going again and add some new styles to that. The mocks themselves, those styles need a little refresher. They're still okay, but they just need some extras. So yeah. Anyway, we're just gonna work. Sorry, this is life back here. This is the crazy that happens when you're busy, and things are just a little chaotic. Just excuse me for a second here. So anyway, let's get working here. The pictures are on my computer, so I really can't show you those super easily, and I don't have anything finished. But the patterns I'm using, they are, let me see if this is her name. It's been a while since I bought these, but I know they're still out there. One shoe, okay, so I believe Winter Peach is her brand. And this is yes, Winter Peach is her brand. And I'm doing the strap loafers, the vintage flare baby loafers, and then they call them the Mary Jane baby booty. Now, you know me, I don't necessarily take a pattern and not change it up. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and trying to decide what I'm going to do. So I've got a bunch of fabrics over here. I've got a bunch of fabrics. Those of you that have followed me for years know I've got a bunch of fabrics over here and there and there. And so I've got a lot to work with. I just need to just make a plan. And so I have a plan to do also on my website some gift sets. Not a lot, but I want to do a couple of gift sets and then maybe change them up every now and then so that things are new and fresh. And so one of them will have some of the baby shoes in it. So that's kind of the other thing I'm thinking about too, is not only just selling them separately, but also as part of a gift set. So if anybody needs like a new baby set for a baby shower or for a gift, and you want something that's, already pulled together for you, and you don't have to sit there and pick and choose, and all you have to do is receive it and gift it, or even just send it and tell me it's a gift, then we can do that. So yeah, that's kind of my thought. And it's not necessarily going to happen overnight. I don't do things that fast. I don't move that quickly. And I don't have my chat up. Where is it? Trying to find where my chat's at. There it is. Okay. It was there. Hey, thanks. Hey, Shar. So it was there, and then it just keeps disappearing. Why is it disappearing? I don't like that. You're supposed to stay up. It's like it stays for a second and then it leaves. So, okay, I guess I'm going to have to constantly keep checking. So if your guys are talking to me, I'll be with you when I check it. Maybe if I do it over here. I have to have my computer open for my patterns to see what I'm doing here. But yeah, let's see. Let's kill the microphone first. Let's mute this so that we don't have any feedback. Things we've learned over the years. And I don't have anything fancy this time. I don't have like the 3 cameras set up so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just winging this one. So, yeah. Okay, cool. Now at least I've got it over here. I'm a few minutes behind, or seconds, I guess, actually. No biggie. But I can keep popping over and checking a lot easier. Yeah, it does have a mind of its own, Char. So anyway, we have that going on. Lots of fun things. Also getting the yarn and the fiber and all that going too with the bags. I'm actually going to be doing a Fiber Fest in April coming up. I know that's ways off, but I have to think about it that far in advance. Whenever you do a fiber festival with yarn and roving and bats and all that, it's a lot. You have to do a lot, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun work, but it is a lot of work, and you just don't slam it out overnight. So I've got 7 months notice, which is good. And I've kind of started, I'm bringing out some new colorways in there. I'm starting fresh over there too. Everything just kind of, when we all had to go back to regular life again, everything just kind of took over on my work life. And so now I'm trying to go back a little and refresh some things, redo some things. Not sure where this is going. I may do some tutorials. We may just do some lives. I might do some recordings only and post those. We'll see, guys. I'm just having fun with it this time. So anyway, thought I was going to work upstairs last night, and that didn't happen because, oh my gosh, I got crazy tired and took everything upstairs and then went, yeah, no, going to bed. I will cut a finger or do something silly. So, what are you working on did you pull your sewing machine out, Char? I hope so. So guys, tell me what you got going on. It's been a while. I'm just ironing over here. I don't like watching myself on replay. I never did like watching my past videos. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I never did. I would never go back and watch myself. And I probably should have, but it's all good. So how many of you remember my guy Bear that is down here with me? Well, little Bear, I think he's getting to be old this year. He's making me sad. He's starting to show that old age cat because I never knew his age. And I guessed him to be about 10 when he came to live with me. And I knew I probably wasn't too far off, but I thought, oh, I could still be a little young on that. Well, he's definitely, in the last couple of months, started showing me that he's probably in his senior time. It's making me sad. I'm going to miss my little guy when he goes. He's had a good life, though, but it's always so hard. hopefully it's not too soon. So giving him some stuff for his arthritis. He kind of quit bathing, and that's usually a good sign too that they're definitely older. And I'm hoping it's just the arthritis that's making him do that, and that he'll feel better again. But man, he sheds. He sheds. I could totally brush him for a day solid, and I'd still get off gobs of hair. And he's always been like that. I'm like, dude, where's all this hair coming from? But he's got such beautiful markings. He's like a gray tabby underneath the top color, and the top color is kind of like a smoky black. So it's almost like when you look at him, he looks black. But the closer you get to him, it's almost like that black is somewhat transparent, and you look through and you can see his undercoat that is tabby. He's so pretty. So pretty. He's my love. So I'm gonna be real sad. And then my kittens, those of you that remember my kittens from last time, they turned 4 this weekend. My babies are 4. Where did that time go? They were just babies the other day. So we've had the birthday weekend, and not that that was anything. It was just me looking at him going, stop growing up. You're 4. Quit. But hey, Sonia. I'm not working on an order yet, Sonia. I'm actually revamping and making a plan, going back to what I was doing on Etsy, and then I'm taking it to my website as well. So, and I'm sure we talked about this the first time around, but for those of you that are newer, I've done Etsy since Etsy first started. And back when Etsy was a really awesome platform to be on, I had a lot of success on it. I was published from it. I sold wholesale from it all over the world. I mean, that's a whole nother video, just those days, because it was really amazing. And I was unemployed at the time, so I was trying to make it happen, and it was going well. It's just that the whole world was in a recession at that time, so nobody had any money except for, like Europe and that, and those stores were doing good, but then, their sales were slow too. But anyway, so I was selling shoes and linen pants for mainly weddings, or beach weddings, that kind of thing. So little kids' linen pants, and they were just a simple pull-on that looked like a fake drawstring. So it had the fake drawstring, and I had to keep rewriting. Lately, I had to keep rewriting that Etsy SEO, because they kept flagging it because it said drawstring, and you're not supposed to have drawstrings. Well, it was a fake drawstring, and I'm like, oh, well, it was fine for the first 10 years of Etsy, and now all of a sudden it's not. Yeah. So anyway, so just remember how you word things. So going back to that, and then I'm going to add in my plushies and some gift sets, pre-made up gift sets. So if somebody wants to send a baby, like a gift, like a brand new baby, and you just want to get them a cute gift to send, it'll be several items together in a box that I can put a note in for you and send, or I can send to you and you can write your own note and wrap it up differently, or however you want to do it. So doing that, and then I'm having to revamp Market just a little bit, because Joann's was one of my vendors that I bought from, and I can't find fabric to replace what I'm using right now. So I may have to be doing some pivoting, but it's all good. It's all good. So good to see you back. Yeah. So what's been going on with everybody? Sonia, tell me what's going on with you. Since I've not been here for a while, but I will be back. I just don't know how regular it's going to be. It might be once a week. It might be once every other week. I don't know yet. So anyway, baby shoes. That's what we are working on is baby shoes. I was cutting out all my patterns over the weekend. And these are new patterns to my shop, not to me. I've had these for a while and I've just got to start using them because they keep haunting me. And I'm like, I love these patterns. And I've had so many thoughts on how I wanted to do these patterns. So, yeah. Crocheting away. Awesome. Well, then you will have to go back and listen to the first part of this video because I'm getting my yarn store back up and going again too. So there will be new yarn bases going in addition to the ones that I absolutely adore. Again, lost my vendor there too, but they retired. So I will forgive them for that. But I'm just losing my vendors everywhere. It's like, and they all happened kind of at the same time. And it's like, wow, it's kind of hard to come back when your vendors are just like, bye. So, yeah. But I've been loving doing the sublimation fabric. It's just been so cool. So I'm definitely going to do the shoes out of the sublimation fabric too. Plus it lets me use up my pieces parts because like when I have a new color, and this is going to blow your mind. So when you sublimate, and if you've sublimated for a long time, you'll understand this, but if you haven't, this might help you troubleshoot a little bit. You have to know your temperature of your heat press for what you're working with. So you have to do a lot of testing. And then also when you print off of your printer, for me, my dark colors turn out differently if I take them off the printer, let them dry for a few minutes and print versus letting them sit for a day or two or a week or whatever. I have better luck with my dark colors if they sit than if I just take them off of the printer and then walk over and use them. So here's an example. Difference between time and temperature. So I figured out my temperature because I had it one way and it was working really good because I was burning everything out at first when I first did it. And then I figured it out and it worked for the longest time. And then it started doing it again. So I don't know, my heat press is 4 years old. It was not an expensive one. So it could be slowly doing a death dance for all I know. And that's why I'm having to redo this. But so I changed up my settings again, took it down a little bit more in temperature and also took it down in time, just a little bit. This was fresh off. This was a couple days. See the difference? I mean, that's major difference in color. So I have some oopsies because these were the bands for bummies around the legs. And if you're like if you're making your bummy patterns and then you run out and you have to print a new one and it's a dark print, this can happen. And this is why I've got these, because I still couldn't, neither one of these still matched. So I had to redo the entire set. And then I saved pieces parts to use either for something else or just in case something else came out this color. And I'm like, okay, I can't keep doing that. So now I'm going to use these for, you know, shoes, quilts, that kind of thing. But just know that sometimes you just have to start all over. You can't run out in the middle. So if you don't have enough printed to do your whole whatever you're trying to do it all at one time. So print everything, don't just do pieces parts because this will happen. And I've got tons of those of the darker colors that I've done. Now the lighter colors I never seem to have any problem with. It's just the darker ones and they're hugely different. So and then sometimes they just don't print super dark. So here was a bummy that just didn't print dark enough. It looks faded when you put it next to the one that printed the way it was supposed to print. So I saved him. He won't ever get used as a bummy because he just looks faded. But I can use him for something else, like part of a quilt block or whatever, and you'll never know. But to do like a pair of bummies, he's already gonna look faded just because it's clothing. So I don't know if I'm that patient, Sonia. Thanks, though. My patience comes and goes. It just depends. And then I'm finding some of my older prints that I've had for a little while that I don't quite have enough to do anything with except quilts and shoes. So these are going to be fun shoes. I can't wait to try this. I think these are going to be really, really cute. And I got a bunch of stuff in here for boys too. So can't forget the boys. I got a lot of ironing to do too. And I had to laugh. So I pulled out my ironing board. And everything I kept telling you guys about the cover on my ironing board in the past came back to me. Guess what I haven't done yet? I still have yet to replace the cover on my ironing board from how long ago? And it's looking worse and worse. Now, it doesn't affect what I'm ironing at all, but it sure looks like heck. So you guys aren't really going to see this for a little while. I am not going to be showing you guys any of that. And I also have a microphone now too. So these, I wish we would have had these a couple years ago. That sure would have solved a lot of problems for some of us. I mean, they probably did have a version of them, but they weren't exactly cheaper or probably as tested. It seemed like everybody was using the actual big microphones still. Where now I like the fact that they're small and you just stick them on you. So I tried it a couple weeks ago. If you'll notice, I posted a video, real short one, when I was at market last month. And it was purely just to test this because I had just gotten this the night before. And I was like, well, that's perfect. I'll just take it to market and we'll do a quick live. And I was going to do an Instagram live until it told me, oh, no, sorry, you don't have enough followers. Go get more followers and then come back. And I was like, well, okay. Hey, guys, if that's the way you want to be. So, yay. All right, I'm going to start with this one. And I can always re-iron it a little more, but at least it's going to lay flat for now. And then I had this fun print that Mia sent me as just a, and those of you that remember Mia, Photobomb, or, Fabric Bomb. Why was I saying Photobomb? Fabricbomb.com. So she sent me this as kind of a, hey, I had a screw up, but you know, here. And I was like, oh, it's so cute. And I was like, you know, saving that because I know this is going to come in someday. Little boy shoes. Little boy shoes. Isn't that going to be super cute? So, yeah. In fact, I'm thinking it's going to be the strap loafers. So, yeah, if you guys want to go to Winter Peach, look her up, Winter Peach, and then strap loafers. They kind of look like, when I first bought it, they reminded me of Tom's, the Tom's brand. And I was like, oh, that's so cute in the little kids size. So I bought that, and I think that's what these are going to be. I think that'd be super sweet. So, in fact, let's just cut those out right now. Do the bigger size. Outside fabric. And then I'll do an unboxing when it gets here, but it's not going to be here for another month. Adam Stack had a beginner laser, and I didn't really want a big laser. I just wanted something little to do some branding with, and I also didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I'm like, well, for now, we'll just wait. And I just kind of kept watching. Well, Adam Stack is a well-known, if you're in the laser world, is a well-known name. So I trusted them. And I've watched a ton of videos. I mean, I've been researching this for a very long time. Okay, when you go to the shoes, make sure you watch your print direction because that will matter as you think about it. So anyway, I don't know why I went over there this last week. because I just wanted a little one. And those little ones that I'm seeing are more than what I want, and they're really expensive. I don't know that for what I was wanting to use it for was justifiable for the cost. And they had theirs, the brand new one. They've had it out, I think, maybe for a year, maybe not quite. Bunch of reviews. I watched a guy that's well known in the laser community. I watched his video, and I'm like, this is the one. It was on sale for $200. All I want to do is put my name on the bottoms of the shoes because I used to embroider it with my embroidery machine. It was real hit and miss. And I mean, I did that for years. And I can't tell you how many soles I ruined just because that's the only way I had to do it that looked good. I've tried the imprinting, the emboss or the debossing with the old leather tools where you hit it. Yeah, that was real hit and miss too. That didn't work out so well. And I've done that stuff before, and it just didn't work out real well. So this one I'm going to do that with, and then I'm hoping to put like my logos and stuff on bags and boxes. So like if I send out a box that has like the shoes in it, because I have these little boxes that they fit in that I've used for years, and then I could just put my name on the outside. And then now that I also have the thermal printer, like the Munbin, I bought that, then I can do like the tape on the top with my name too. So real easy way to do it without having to invest a lot of money or buy a ton of product, because usually you have to go out and buy like 500,000 stickers or, so many yards, that kind of thing. And I'm like, and that's why I've been doing the sublimation of my fabric is that I don't want to go buy bolts and bolts and bolts of fabric. I want to be able to pivot. So I did, and that'll be in at the end of September because I said it ships into September. So they must be only doing like small runs of that, but I've seen some really great reviews. So we'll unbox that when I get it and learn together. I'm excited though. I think it's going to be exactly what I've been searching for, and I am not finding a pen in here to save my life. Lots of, oh, wait. Let me see. Oh, that one will work. Okay, cool. So I'm excited for that and to see. I do have Halloween outfits, Sonia. I don't know if I can get to them real easily. They're over there. They're all packed away. I've got IKEA bags, the big zipper IKEA bags, and that's what I take those in. I don't think I have any. Oh, hang tight. Let me see what I got down here. I still have some printed, or if I've used everything. So for market, and I don't know if I ever showed you guys this previously because I was still kind of getting it figured out. So I do the t-shirts, I make the t-shirts. So if you go back, there is a video of me showing you how to make t-shirts. And I was telling you at the time that it doesn't hurt to keep fabric on hand just in case at the last second you need to make a t-shirt or you don't have a t-shirt size you need to make one for an order. You can at least do that. Well, I got to the point where I was making my t-shirts because I was sublimating the design and then making matching bummies. And that's what I've been doing for the last how many years. I don't think my Halloween is here. I've got a whole stack of stuff right here. Like these are some of the new ones I'm doing, and they're fun. And then you get the bummies to match. And these colors you can't tell from the sublimation, but then I make the bummies out of that with a matching t-shirt. I know I printed a bunch off. Let me see. I just can't remember where I laid them. That was a few weeks ago. I think they're right here though. Oh, yep, there. And then I also made hair bows. And those are right here. I do actually have hair bows right here. So I've got this market thing kind of figured out. So I've got things packed away, ready to put up, but so my newest thing this year is the bummies are out of this, and it gets more vibrant. And do I have the t-shirt? What I did with my t-shirt, guys. So the guy, I've got the t-shirt. It's this guy, only blown up. He's really cute. So he's probably, like about this big on the t-shirt. And then I did, here I do. Okay. So then I did bummies out of this, and this is the bows to match. And then I also have the candy corns. And then the t-shirt says candy corn cutie on it. Or I have a bat. And this is a newer one that I'm doing. I haven't done him yet. Oh, yeah, I did do him. He's in there somewhere. Anyway, the bow is going to be made out of this. And the bottom of the bow was just right here a second ago when I did it. The band itself. Are you kidding me? It was just here right before I started this live. But it's a striped fabric that I printed. Oh, here it is. So it's a stripe. And then the bow is going to be this. So yeah, we're having some fun with this. And these bows are just, oh, okay, here's a bow for you, Sonia. I thought I had one made up. So these will be on the website eventually when I get all this stuff pulled together. And then a lot of the Halloween outfits are boy or girl, so it really doesn't matter. And then I just my regular non-holiday bows. Got all kinds. I mean, I've got when you sublimate, you can just really go crazy with these and have a good time. So yeah, we do have Halloween, and then there's Christmas as well. I'm going to make some new Christmas. I've run Christmas kind of the same the last 2 years. So it's time for some new stuff, if nothing else, just for a break for me because I'm kind of bored with it. But yeah. What have you guys been working on? Also redoing some of my displays. So when I get those done better, I will do a live out at the market and show you guys. They're super cheap and you can use them for hanging. They're made out of PVC and they become like this rack and they break down and they're super, super easy. and people shopped it really well. I did a test last month, and I knew it wasn't the test I did. I knew the material I was using wasn't sturdy enough because the PVC I had was just a little bit too thin of a diameter. But I was like, it's good enough for at least for me to test. And I was trying to use what I had on hand. I'm one of those weirdos. I have stuff like that on hand. And I just had to go get a few pieces. Hi, Mama. Hi, baby. So those of you that can hear the meowing in the background, that's my girl Momo. I raised her from a kitten when I used to live in another location very close to here, and she's, how old are you, Mo? You're 15 and a half now. And she was an outdoor cat. She was feral. I went in there and took care of her every night. And then all of a sudden, about January, this other female cat showed up. And as they do at that location is like a condo resort kind of thing, tennis resort. So people would dump cats all the time, and then cats just come in because that's what happens down here. But she had a sister. I lost her sister about 2 years prior, year and a half prior. I still don't know what happened to her. I mean, I got there literally, showed up to feed literally right after she passed. And I know she didn't get hit. I know nothing happened to her like that. I don't know. And she was fine the night before. It just blew my mind. So anyway, she had a girl, another female cat that was younger and kind of started to pick on her a little bit. So I was done. I'm like, nope. I didn't ever plan on bringing her to live with me until I saw that happening, because it's too much what I've got here. But I'm like, I can't leave you there. I just can't. So she's here now, and you've been here since January, and you're still kind of going, where am I and why am I here? But I know if I hadn't had grabbed her in January, I don't know that she'd still be with us. So I am so happy to hear her meow, because she was part of a lineage that I took care of while I lived at that condo. I was at that condo for about 6 years, something like that. And so I TNR'd all the cats there. And her mother was one of them that I TNR'd, and she was the last litter before I could get her mother. So I raised the litter and TNR'd all them and took care of them and did all that while I was there. We had 13 when I first moved in. It's crazy, 13. And she's the last living one out of all of them now. I mean, they all lived until they were old. All of them did. So they all had good lives. It was actually a really good place for them to live. Very safe. It was just when that newer female cat came in, and she needed to be fixed. And she was kind of just that cat that kind of picks on others. So yeah, I was like, well, it's time for her to come home with me now. I was just so worried about her. So yeah, what else? Trying to think. I know you guys are going to want some tutorials. We might redo a few. I mean, I've sewn a few bummies since that first bummy one. Just a few. So, and I now have a second serger. I got that on Facebook from somebody local here. It was practically brand new, and I got it for like half price. And then she gave me like tons and tons of thread and everything. It was like, I wasn't expecting the thread. I was like, just the machine for half price is crazy. And then when I showed up, she gave me like 3 boxes full of cones of thread. I mean, still with plastic on it. Boxes and boxes of this. So all different colors. I'm like, wow, that's insane. So it ended up being a really good deal. And I now have one, and it's the exact same one that I had. It's the Juki. So I now have one for white and one for black. And also, in case one of them, and not that this happens with the Juki, I've run my Juki into the ground and back up again, and it hums. yeah, if for some reason one would go down on me for some reason, I at least have a second. But man, I've had that other Juki for probably well on 15 years, and no, maybe not quite, probably 10, a little over 10. Never has it gone down on me yet. So yeah, it was amazing. I was just looking for the second Juki for a decent price. So you never know what you're gonna get. But yeah, that lady, oh my gosh, she was so sweet. She was probably newly retired or something like that. And she like, oh yeah, here's my address, just come get it. And she was single and was in an apartment complex and everything. And I'm like, I got there and she's like, oh yeah, come on in. I looked at her and I said, please don't do that. I said, you just put yourself in danger. You didn't know who was coming over. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do that, especially here. Don't just, she goes, oh, I'm fine. I'm like, no, no, you be safe. You don't do that stuff. So I was like, you're damn lucky. I'm like, I'm just here. Here's my money. Take my money. you know? Oh my gosh. Such a nice lady. And she's like, oh yeah, what's your website? I'll go check you out and everything. And I was telling her that, I was doing lives and got away from him and I'm gonna start again. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, honey, don't be so trusting. Oh, that's why that wasn't. Aha. Oh, Momo thinks she needs dinner. That's why she's crying to me. Like, what time is it? It's only 4 o'clock, Mo. It's not dinner time yet. She thinks when she sees me, I'm going to feed her because that's the way it always was, and I just show up to go take care of her. It's like, well, she saw me and it was food time. And that was pretty much the only time she'd see me anymore. Because when I used to live there, then I'd go out and I'd hang out with her, but not in the last couple of years. So, I'm hoping too with this new laser, maybe I can cut some actual patterns out of something other than, because I can't cut around that with a cutter. I'll go through those pieces like crazy. Besides, this is just a test, so it doesn't really matter, but it's already taking, I should have these already cut out by now. So when I did my other ones, I had thicker cardboard and I just run around and it'd be done cutting them out in about 5 minutes. So what else have people got going on? Did you have a nice weekend? Can't believe we go back to work tomorrow already. Such a bummer. And I'll have to try and give you guys a little more notice so that maybe we can have a little more fun in the chat. We used to have such good times in the chat, but people also knew when I was going to be on. I just kind of jumped on with you guys today. Went and got groceries today earlier too. Whew. Yeah, that's a shock. But the worst part about it is I'm like needing like 2 or 3 things desperately because I was completely out and I needed them. What did I come home with? Everything but that. So annoying. And where I live, the grocery store is not exactly like 5 minutes away. So 1 or 2 things I can get at Dollar General, just which is 5 minutes away. But some of the other stuff I can't. Or I can, but it's going to cost me like 3 times as much. Look at how cute those are going to be. Now, did I cut that out right? I guess it really won't matter. Look at how cute those are going to be. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let's see what else we got here. There's the rest of my pieces. So this is the one thing about you're watching me learn a pattern. Usually when I get on here with you guys, I've already tried the pattern out. Do you really, Char? Isn't that cute? I love that. I think this ended up being, from the way it looks, it was an oops print, but it works perfect for what I'm going to use it for. You won't know it's an oops print. So it's so cute. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I had the list, Sonia, too. And it was on my list. Both of them were. And I even looked at the stupid list right as I was headed to the checkout and diverted to go get something else. And my eyes just did not land on those two things. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me right now? Ugh. Inside fabric. Oh, there's the strap. And the inside. Momo, sweetie, bye. Can you be patient, sweetie? I know. Hi, baby. I swear, they say this can happen. They say cats can get dementia. And I kind of wonder if she doesn't have a light version of it. Just a real light version. And she's just not quite like she used to be. Sweet baby. Hi, baby. Hi, love. I know. You've always been a talker. Remember you when you were just a little tiny fluff ball? Man, she got away from her mama. And it was right when they first start walking away and exploring and stuff. So she wasn't very old. She was probably maybe 6 weeks. And so the condos where I lived, it was like condo, 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 condo. And then the under condos had a wall that went straight out. And so it totally blocked you off from the neighbor off to the side there. So you couldn't walk out and see them. Well, we had steps that were on the outside down to the back where the sliding glass doors are. And so the steps would go up and then we could go in the side back door. And that's where I would feed them. And when I first saw her and her siblings, because there was 4 of them, the mom had taken them and the stringers that go up, the walls were right up against the stringers. So there was about a gap about this big. And one time I went walking up the steps and I saw these 2 little faces here and 2 little faces here. She stuffed them in between the stringer and the wall. And they were literally, their faces were like about this big. So they were just old enough to start getting weaned. And the mom stuffed them in there while she came to eat. And I got a little closer and they were hissing and spitting at me. And all you could see was their little faces because their bodies were hidden by the stringer and the wall. And so when she got a little bit older and they were wandering around, I was in the condo. So again, top, bottom, bottom. So I was, say, like here. And I could hear her screaming her head off because she had gotten lost. My door was closed, my windows were closed, and I could hear her screaming in the condo. And she was outside. Yeah, I'm telling a story about you. And when I went outside, I was here. She was around that wall, way back in the corner on the opposite side. And it took me a while to find her. But she had just backed into the corner. There was nothing there she was hiding under. And she was so lost and so scared. And so she's a long-haired cat, so super fluffy. And she's kind of she's a gray long-haired tabby that has more of a tan color to her. Hi, baby. Yeah, you look like your daddy because your daddy was an orange kitty. I know exactly who the daddies and the mommies were of all of these because they were all part of that group when I first TNR'd. And so I know who her daddy is and I know who her mommy is. And none of them were long haired. I don't know where she got the long hair from. To this day, I still can't figure it out because none of that group had long hair, and she was the only one with long hair. And so, yeah, she's still got that sound in her voice when she meows like that. It brings back that memory for me of, oh, you're lost. And so I had to run outside and try and find her and get her reunited with everybody again. And then she never did it again. So she must have figured it out after that. But oh, those memories. Hey, Nye. So, yay. Okay. But yeah, she's sitting over there on the. I've got steps to go outside. Remember when I used to take. I was on the other side of this table, so I kind of redid this just a little bit, but still, I was on the 90 degrees over, and so the doors were always behind me when I recorded before. She's over there on the steps, just sitting there staring at me, like, "Hey, yo, I see you. Can you not hear me? I'm talking to you. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You're so pretty." She's like, "Yeah, don't tell me I'm pretty. Get over here and feed me." You have food. Yes, you do. I have to do just some videos doing this stuff and playing music in the background and let you guys see. Okay, so now we gotta think about this. All right. Two from cotton print, two inverse. So, okay. This is the point where I've never made this, and I need to read through this here. Because they gave me another one, didn't they? Gave me a smaller one. Oh, okay. So that's the interface. All right. Now it makes some sense. All righty. I see what they're doing. I know. They can hear you. Can you guys hear her crying? Oh, Sonia, I don't know. I really don't know how many I've had. Oh, you're okay, Shar. Yeah, she's got this really sad meow. She always has. She just sounds so sad. So Sonia, when I was growing up, and I blame a lot of this on my dad, um, I grew up out in the country in Nebraska, and my siblings were much older than me. So they were already gone from the house, and it was just me. And I had no neighbors. My grandparents and my great aunt and uncle were my neighbors. So no kids. The only time I had kids was when I went to school, which was country school at that time. And like when I'd go to church or, they'd take me into town to go to a friend's house or whatever from church. But that was really the only time. So my dad felt so guilty that I didn't have, people to play with. Plus, he loved animals anyway. He told me I could have as many as I wanted. He didn't care. He's like, you can have as many as you want. And so I didn't have a ton, but, we had a dog, fish, birds, a few cats. But, over the course of the years, yeah, I mean, we've always had animals. We raised, we raised Siamese when I was growing up too, so we had several litters of Siamese cats. And then we would have, the occasional stray, because out in the country, everybody back then thought that was where you dumped your animals when you decided you no longer wanted them anymore, which I still don't understand, but that's a whole nother conversation. Um, so yeah, so for me to not have pets would be very weird. Very, very weird. So I have no idea how many. I've had a lot. Momo, they hear you, sweetie. Momo. Hi, baby. Hi. Yeah, I still wonder about that dementia thing a little bit because I used to be a hospice volunteer for 15 years, and just the look she gives me versus the way she used to kind of makes me also think that because there's just kind of that, I don't want to call it a hollow look, but it's like they look at you, but yet there's no familiarity there, I guess, is the look I'm talking about. And she kind of knows me, but then there's times when she reacts a little bit, like when I go to pet her, she'll jump really fast, or maybe she's not seeing very well. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe she's got that, they'll get shadowing in their eyes. Older people will, and maybe, and I know pets will do the same thing. So maybe that's what she's dealing with, is she's getting shadowing. But yeah, she'll jump and kind of be scared at the strangest things. So, and she never used to be that way. So I kind of just wonder what's going on. I mean, she's fine. You know, she's eating well. She's very social. She's pretty much herself, except for those little weird things. So what else is people doing? I know Sonia's crocheting, and I know Char just had a live on her site for La Belle Petite. So she had a launch today, guys. So make sure you go check out her stuff. And that was really kind of cool. I was watching her do some of it behind the scenes and get ready and everything. So, um, yeah, she's got some cool stuff going on. And then she was going to break open her sewing machine and start getting ready for her market that's coming up. Who else is doing markets? Anybody? Yvette, hi. I missed that you slipped in. Yeah, these first patterns really are slow for me. So you guys don't feel bad when you feel like you're taking forever on the first one. They just are slow. I think everything through. I don't necessarily 100% trust when they tell me to do X, Y, and Z just because I've just had a few patterns where I was like, and I did that Y and I didn't need that, or there was no reason for that. Hey, baby. Hi. So I'm always thinking them through. Man, these are going to be so cute. I'm excited to see these. Hey, now I'm making some shoe samples. This is like the first ones I'm doing. I've got some new patterns and they're not new to me. I've had them for a while, but I just haven't ever really sat down and did them. And I really want to add these. So now's the time. Plus, I think that Joann's going out of business and I lost my vendor for my fabric, I'm starting to realize I'm going to have to pivot. So time to start pulling out the tried and true. Oh, that's right. Now, yeah, you are making that cardigan for your daughter. I love the color of that. That was so pretty. You'll probably whip that out and she'll be ready to wear it here in a week. I'll betcha. Right as things start cooling down for you. Come here, Mama. Yeah, I wish I could pick her up. She's never been a cat that let me pick her up. I can pet her all day long, but she does not like to be picked up. So if I could pick her up, I'd show her to you. She's so pretty. Yeah, I know. I bet it has been a while. I'm coming back. I decided I was ready to come back. I know I took quite a hiatus there for a while, but things were just kind of crazy and I just couldn't. Work was too much. It still is, but I'm trying to get past that. I'm tired of that being too much and taking too much out of me. So I think the ticket's going to be not having planned lives. I think that's where I'm going to have to be for right now. So I know, sweetie. You do have food, honey. Don't tell me you don't, because I saw your bowl. You just don't have your wet food that you want. I know. It's just awful when you don't have your wet food. I mean, well, who am I to think that you could snack on dry? Yeah, who am I? Yeah, Bear Bear thinks he's pretty special too because I started giving him glucosamine and chondroitin for cats. And so, and then he also gets omega-3 oil. So I started him on that last week. And every night before dinner, he gets like they have these treats that are churros and they're like a paste, only I found the same thing in Tastefuls. And it actually comes in those pouches like the little kids' foods does with the screw top. So I've been using that to mix it all in. He thinks he gets a treat every night. He has no idea he's getting supplements. And he's just like, this is awesome. So yeah, I need to give her some too because I know she's 15 and a half. I just haven't tried to give any to her yet, but now that I know Bear Bear's doing good eating it and it's not a problem. Yeah, you heard me say Bear Bear. You know who Bear Bear is. And so I'm going to have to start giving to her now this week and see if I can't get her. She's a little bit of a fussy eater. She always kind of has been. So, yeah, you're a fussy girl at times. Yep. Yep. 9. Oh, cool. You'll be done tomorrow. Yeah, I can't wait to see what it looks like. It was really pretty. Oh, thanks, Nye, for putting in that link for Char's chat or Char's launch. Yes, guys, go check that out. She's got some really cool stuff. And if you're trying to budget, she's your girl. She's got you covered. The interfacing I'm using for the shoes, I'm testing some things actually. So I'm not real sure. I have all of this stuff that I've used for embroidery left over. So I have these bits and bobs that I've saved. And so a lot of these, I have to interface these, and they're small, and so is this. So depending upon the fabric, now I'm going to try and make some canvas ones as well. This is going to be obviously way stiffer than this cotton. So I don't know if I'm going to need to use interfacing on this part. So I've got that. And then I also have just the regular, sorry, just the regular interfacing. This one is a mid-weight and it's a sew-in, which it's fine. And then I'll just use some heat and bond with it. And it still might be just a little too much. So I'm going to start this first one with this lighter weight because this strap itself, at least for the strap has a little bit of an elastic, like a V, so it'll give just a little bit. So I don't think I want that to be too stiff, but around the shoe part itself, because I'm used to working with leather, because my mocks are out of leather. So part of me wants to say this because it'll give me the feel of that. that heavier, because I don't want them to feel destroyable, I guess is the word. So yeah, it's going to be a test. So I may have to actually get a lighter weight if I don't like this medium weight. I have a ton of interfacing, but I think everything behind me is a little heavier. That one's mid-weight. I've got 2 more bolts up there too. That might be heavier though, like the mid to heavier. So I need to maybe get a lighter weight one. Interfacing's so cheap. I mean, I've got stuff everywhere, but I don't have any of the lighter weight anymore. I did have some of the iron-on lighter weight, and I think I used it all up actually. So I want to actually on the inside of that. Oh, and then here, guys, another tidbit for you. So if your refrigerator ever goes out and you're getting a new one, at least if you buy from like Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever, they'll take your old one with them and dispose of it. Well, keep a hold of your trays that are inside your drawers, everything. I've got my drawers over there. And I just put, like, I'm working on this. This is all my shoe fabrics that I just kind of quick like threw together. And then that way, when I sit down, or if I want to take it upstairs with me, or just move it, I've got everything right here and just kind of digging through it. But I'm telling you, these things are like amazing. I love them. I hope I can use this for shoes. I bet this is going to be an inside lining. That's probably what that's going to have to be, because there is not quite enough fabric. Yep. Oh, that'll be perfect for the inside lining. Okay. So the inside sole will come out of this because so it'll fit perfectly to do that. So they'll have kind of a fun little print on the inside of the shoe. That's what I do on the mocks, my leather mocks. I know I had a pair just right here. Oh, there they are. Hang on. So these mocks are my own design. And I don't think I've got the pair that has the design on the bottom. You guys can see those on Etsy if you want to see what they look like. But so the inside in here will be this. I don't do that usually in these because these are all leather. And so the inside is the leather as well. So it gives it it's a double layer. So this is a suede. And then this is the top turned upside down so that it's nice and soft on the inside. So yeah. But yeah, see how it's got some structure to it? And I'm used to being able to just kind of mess with them a little bit. So that's what I think I want these to have, is some structure to them. So I do think it's going to end up being this, to be able to have that. It'll just feel right to me. The only thing I'm not going to like is the fact that you can crease it, but that's just because it's the fabric that it's coming out of. I'm just so used to working with leather where, it takes a beating and you don't have to worry about that. And I'm sure this fabric, I'm just going to have to learn to deal with that. But these were part of my original, when I first was on Etsy, this, and then they have designs on the bottom. So I'm going to make some more with newer designs again, just to kind of freshen up the shop a little bit. For the bottoms, I'm probably on these. I haven't decided. I may still use what I use for here. So this is a suede, so it's leather. And that's only because also I'm going to use that laser to put my company name on, put Scandeez on instead of, because see on this, it's embroidered. And that is the part that it's really touchy, just because it's leather and it's thicker, and when you're using a flatbed machine, it is touchy. And I've tried thick needles, thin needles, thicker thread, thin thread. I cannot get it to be reliable. So it is what it is, and I sometimes it turns out absolutely beautiful, but I can guarantee you I probably ruined one pair of bottoms when I was producing these and making these every night. I would probably ruin one pair of bottoms every night just because no matter what, if you just walked away from the machine and you're 5 feet away from it and you sneezed, I swear that it would be that sensitive and it would mess up. Or the thread, something would happen with the thread and it'd jam up or something or it'd break or what. I was just like, I'm done. I've done that for too many years. I can't. Something's got to change. So hoping that laser is going to, and that laser should be my answer to that, and make it reproducible and reliable. I guess is the biggest word because I do like the embroidery look. I really, really, really like it, but it's just it messes up. It just doesn't look professional 100% of the time. So I will probably use the leather because it's just as cheap for me to buy these bottoms, the leather that I buy for the bottoms, as it is to buy the faux leather. It's the same price. So why not use the real stuff? And I think it'll probably laser better if I do. So yeah. Time is it? 30. Okay. It's not dinner time yet, Mo. I just got a dirty look. Oh my gosh, the look she gave me was hilarious. Oh my gosh. Oh, if she could swear at me, she would have right then. I'm still getting the glare. Oh, no. You're too funny. All right, so I thought I had a green in there. I've got so many fun prints. I'm excited to really just try all of these. But I wanted to start with the boys because I swear at market, people are so funny. People are just so funny. So people walk in and look at my stuff, and I have boy sets and girl sets. I don't have obvious that it's all girls with just a boy or two here. I have a lot of boy sets, and they can be either way too. You know, girls can wear those, and a lot of times the girl moms will buy those for the girls too, just because gender neutral, whatever you want to call it. But some of these ladies that walk in, and I don't know. I'm not one of those that when people walk into my booth that I'm like, hey, hi, can I help you find something? That is not me because I don't want to scare them off, and that's just not me. So they walk in, and if they look at me, I'll say hi. But if they're shopping, I usually don't really say anything unless till they finally kind of get around to me or whatever. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? Having fun, nice day, blah, blah, whatever. But every now and then I'll get one that'll walk in. Oh, your stuff's so cute. You don't have any boy stuff. Okay, bye. Okay. um, you clearly looked at 4 sets right there that were boy stuff. People are so funny. Aw, thanks, Nye. So yeah, I don't know whether they all of a sudden like pressured themselves or whether that's just their natural reaction to get themselves out of having to buy something. I don't know. I don't know. I still they walk away and I just all I can do is try not giggle as they're walking away so that they don't hear me because it's really rather comical. Okay. So I was looking for I could swear I put in a bright green. I swear I have a bright green in there. We'll do a light blue instead. Oh, Momo. I'm glad you guys can hear that sad cry. Makes me so sad to hear her cry. Momo, you're okay, baby girl. Didn't. I know I've probably got a bright green over there somewhere, but we're going to do blue. It'll still look okay. Blue for the inside. Don't forget to like this video, guys. I will try and come back more often, so that will help my what do they call it? The algorithm? I don't know, whatever that is. But anyway, so that you will get notified a little faster. I know they've changed. They changed, and they actually made it easier. So they've changed some going live things on here, and I hadn't really been on recently enough to know that. So when I first started, the orientation, you have to choose the orientation now. You never used to have to do that, or if you did, I never had a problem with it. So that and just it was super easy. I mean, before it was like several steps, I thought, and this time I was like, oh, I'm live. Oh, okay, well that was easy. All right, so we'll do interfacing out of this as well. Yeah, this is definitely going to go faster when I can have some better templates. I'm definitely going to have to make me some better templates. I have it all figured out when I was doing the mocks before on how to I could make a pair of those mocks from start to finish with the design on them on the bottom in an hour when I was selling them quite a bit on Etsy. So the template thing is definitely helpful. Plus, I'm not used to working on the fabric. Working on the leather made it so much easier too. Fabric kind of is fussy. I'm sure I'll eventually figure out that I'm going to have to maybe put interfacing. Oh, great. My pen is messy. So that'll probably be another thing too, is if I figure out which pieces really need interfacing or whatever, put that on first. That'll give me some thickness. It won't be quite so fussy. The thing though, if you guys ever do make shoes, be super, super, super careful about keeping directly to the size given. So when you cut out your template, be very careful. Stay on the lines. Don't take too much off. Don't leave too much on. And then when you get to like these pieces, same thing, especially these pieces matter. These are huge. And then I also know that sometimes patterns are off, or if you sew and you get to be off, this is where you're going to notice it, is when you go to put these pieces together. So when you do this fabric like this, you're going to sew this part together in the back. And then when you go to put it on the shoe itself, which is the bottom, and I've lost it. So the bottom. So then you're going to have it like this. And you're going to open it up. And then you're going to put it together like here. This is where it gets fussy, okay? So you've got it like that. This is where you have to be super careful on sizing, and you will know if you're off. and you have to make sure your centers, and we'll go through this again a million times, but you start, and I mean, I've done these in my sleep and I've still screwed them up. So that's why I'm like, you start at one specific place. After you've done them a few times, you'll figure out where your place is to start. But I use clips to clip them. I'll never use pins, especially obviously not on the leather. You can't, but on the fabric, I definitely won't use pins because you will prick yourself a lot. And then you're going to have to figure out how to place it. And it's a little fussy until you figure it out. But then once you've got it figured out, because this could be wider and probably will be a little wider because you're accounting for the depth of the foot. That's where it gets fussy. And so you just kind of have to keep easing it on there the first couple of times until you get used to it. And then once you figure out how it goes on, then you're like, oh, okay. And it makes all the sense in the world. But that very first one, they drive you absolutely bonkers trying to figure it out because you've got to account for that depth of the foot coming up. And there's not much fabric there to account for it. So it's kind of somewhat in that diameter part around as well. But it fits. But that's why you have to exactly follow the pattern and be super careful when you're cutting them out and all that, because even just of an inch is going to make a difference, or a millimeter, or whatever you guys, whatever your measurement is. So yeah, I just take my time. I'm never in a hurry when I make shoes. I can't be. Let's see, I already kind of screwed that, but this is the inside, so that won't matter so much. It's the outside pieces that you really got to be super careful with. And don't be upset if you have to make a few pair to figure it out. Is it, there's just a feel you have to get when you do them, and then once you figure it out, you're like, oh, that's not so hard. I do not. No, I will not sell the pattern for my shoes. Nope. Yeah, I've had too many people ask me that over the years, and I just won't do it. Sweet baby girl. I know I don't have any wet down here even to stop and go feed you. Hi, baby. Hi, honey. Hi. Oh, you're going to come over here now? Hi, sweetie. Hi, darling. She's got the fluffiest tail. Hi. Come here, baby. Yeah, it took me a really long time to get that pattern correct. And yeah, I just kind of want to keep that for me for right now. If I ever decide to quit making them permanently, then I'll probably sell it. I've had to really keep an eye out when I was really selling those heavily. I did it the way I did it for a lot of reasons, but another reason was it was easily identifiable. So if anybody stole my pattern and I had to take them to court, there would be no way they could refute the fact that it looks too much like any other pattern. So how can I prove that it's mine? I have not seen anything even close to mine out there ever in all the years. So it was, yeah, it took me quite a while to kind of just figure it out enough. And that's another reason why I did the embroidery on the bottom too, was that made it even harder to remove that. And also because of our laws, we have to have our name somewhere on the product. So that made a perfect place for me to put it was on the bottom, because as you hold your baby, then you see the name and you also see the design on the bottom. And nobody else had design on the bottom, it was all on the top. So I'm like, well, you're holding your baby. And a lot of times the baby's kicking its feet like this. So you want them to see what's on the bottom. So that's why I was doing that. And then again, it differentiated me from all the others that were out there. So, okay. Oh, yeah. One of inside, outside. Is that the ones? Oh. Not quite sure which ones did we do here. Is that right? Okay. There's that one. Oh, I know what I did. Okay, that was the interfacing I cut. Okay. See, I get talking. I was like, I thought that was a little small. I cut the interfacing out of the blue fabric instead of the inside fabric piece. There's a little difference. Oh, we'll do this again. Like I said, first time through a pattern. And I don't look forward to doing first time patterns because I know it takes me forever. And then the second one will take like no time at all. But you just got to go through the first one and figure it all out, because I will be looking at different ways to do things from the way they told me, just for the ease of production. If you're just doing one pair, the way they tell you on a pattern is fine. But if you're going to go try and do it in a production, you really do need to look to streamline some things. So I will definitely be looking to do that as I make these. All right, interface. Inside fabric, outside. I thought we had. Oh, honey. I know I had another one. Another piece. I got it. Oh, well, I probably got it printed out somewhere, so we can take care of that. Not a big deal. Inside, cut off one of inside fabric. Okay, that's what I'm missing, is the interfacing one. Okay. Oh, she did mess this one up. Because she just said cut one of inside fabric and one inverse of outside fabric when you need two. But that's what she's saying on all these. One and one. Why are you saying one and one when you really need two? Interesting. Well, okay. Easy enough. And you'll also learn, if you do make shoes quite a bit, how to get the most out of your fabric, especially when you're working with leather. Oh my gosh, there's times when I'll take things and move them around so many times and still like feel like I'm wasting. And I am wasting. I know I am, but it's the best I can get it on there. So frustrating when you can't get every little square inch out of it. All right, so I've been on here for an hour and a half. Wow, guys, this is insane. Time did go fast before, and it has now, too. Gotten more talking done than shoes, as usual. Hey, Nye, did this come across on the channel, on your channel? Am I still signed up for that so that when I go live, it dings on the Discord channel? Plus, these are made just a little bit differently than my pattern. That's also where I'm struggling. I'm doing more cuts. Interesting to see how that works versus mine. Oh, it's okay now. I was just curious because we had it set up to do it on its own before. Nobody really had to share. So I was just kind of curious if that was still set up. So yeah, if you guys ever make shoes, remember to, and it doesn't matter if you're on a plain fabric, but if you're on a regular fabric with a print and you're doing like the bottom, like the inside sole or something out of a print, one this way, one this way. It'll get you every time because you'll forget the first time. Yeah, my muscle memory is still here from all these shoes. I'm just, this fabric though, it's kind of driving me crazy because I'm used to having structure from the leather. Oh, it's a little fiddly right now. I think I'm going to have to figure out what needs to be fused and do that first because then it won't be so fiddly. At least for me. Now, it might not bother you guys, but I'm just so used to that having structure when I cut it out by hand like that. Oh, I see. Okay, now that makes sense. Okay, that makes absolute sense. Okay. No biggie. I was just curious. I was just thinking out loud more than anything. This actually works pretty good to have you guys. I'm on my iPad, so you guys are watching me on the iPad. And then I've got my computer over here that I can see the chat in and read my pattern. You know, it's amazing how it's easier now than it was before. And I know it's because also I had you guys up above and was showing you stuff, and we'll do that again at some point in time. That might not be lives though. I don't know. Haven't got that far. That might be pre-recorded just because I know that is a little more involved of a setup camera wise. So she's being so patient, but I think her patience is going to run out. Hi, sweetie. I know. I know. She just looks so sad. She's like, why are you not feeding me? I don't understand. You change steps. Maybe that'll help you see that I'm hungry. You're not hungry. You had food this morning. All right. Now. So also, you guys remember, I use these scissors for the point. So the point that is on there is impeccable for doing shoes. So it has like this little, I'm sorry, trying to figure out where the camera's at. It has this little area that slants. So it goes up and then it slants. You can kind of see it there. And it does it on the other side. And so from that slant down, they are super sharp. So you can get in and just do little snips of fabric. And I love these. And they're not that expensive. They're Fiskars. They're about $8, $9, $10. So they're very much worth the money. I got like 4 or 5 pairs of them around the house. I use them all the time for sewing. So yeah. All right. So there's that. Oh, okay. That's what they're wanting. Gotcha, gotcha. And then the other thing too is you got to think about the piece when you're using print, how the piece is going to be on whatever you're making. So I had to make sure I had, because these are straps, so I had to make sure that my prints are going the right direction for each. So just little things. And you'll screw it up maybe once or twice and then be like, oh yeah, that's right. But if you fold your fabric in half, I didn't. I laid mine flat and cut one by one. But if you fold your fabric in half and cut 2 at a time, it'll be right. So you'll have the top and the bottom will be facing the right direction for you. That. All right, so the interfacing on that one. Let's do that. So yeah, if you have any embroidery scraps, I didn't realize, oh yeah, I'll need those for this interfacing until I decided I needed to make some shoes, and I have a whole basket of this. Chat, sorry. All right. Inside fabric, upper, outside fabric, interfacing. Want thicker interfacing on that. And then I think I've got all my pieces. still can't believe it's time to be back to work already tomorrow. How did it go so fast? It seemed like today was the only day that I really had free though, too, which doesn't help much. I mean, I wasn't super, super busy, but I did have things on Saturday and Sunday that took up a big chunk of the day. So that didn't give me like tons of free time to be down here, which is what I really wanted to do. And the nice thing about interfacing too, you don't have to be super careful like you have to on the fabric parts. And you actually may find out if you make several pair that you're going to want to trim maybe a certain piece a little shorter than what the pattern shows just because trial and error. So don't be afraid to do that if you find out that something isn't sewing quite right for you. It might just be that you've got too much fabric in one area and it's that interfacing. That's the first place I always look is like, is there interfacing right there? And if I can trim that out and make my life a little easier and it's not going to affect anything, then I definitely do it. Now, the one thing I'm going to be looking at too on this that I haven't had to deal with is I've got raw edges now that I'm dealing with fabric. So my brain's going to be like, how can we make that so it's better? I didn't have to worry about that with my leather mocks, obviously, because that doesn't fray. So this is going to be a process until I kind of get this figured out. I see me reworking this a few times because I don't want to go down and use like fray check or anything like that because it kind of tends to make things a little bulky, a little scratchy. So I gotta see if she's shown people how to encapsulate those edges or whether she's just finishing them off or whether it's just getting run through the serger, what we're doing there. Okay, now got that. Sandy, hey. Yeah, I kind of slipped on quietly. Sorry. Been on for a little while, but we just kind of want to test things out a little bit when you're coming back. But hey, look, newfangled things, Sandy. We have the microphone now. Before we had to use the earbuds. Hi, Chloe. Hi, baby. Oh, yeah, you're going to come throw yourself down on the floor. She's so funny. She'll throw herself on the floor and just flop at my feet. And then the minute you go to pet her, she's like, no, 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 no. But I want you to touch me. But no, 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 no. Come here, baby. Yeah, you'll calm down and I'll get to pet you eventually. Hi, baby. Hi, come here. Come here. Hi. Oh, yeah, see, you're getting better about this. Yeah, I got fancy, Sandy. Got real fancy. It's just kind of frustrating when people couldn't hear you before, and now we finally have like the easy solution. I don't know why we couldn't have these a couple years ago. They weren't quite out yet, I guess. You've missed all my stories, Sandy. All right. I searched for probably 20 minutes earlier before the video trying to find my heat and bond. And I put it in my sewing room in the house on like this open shelf up above that kind of hangs. It's like if you go into an office and you have to put papers on somebody's door and they have like that shelf that kind of leans away from the door just a little bit. That's what I have up there. And so it was just hanging up there like this. And I'm looking everywhere for this thing. And I know I looked at it probably like 5 times until it registered. Duh. That's where you put it. Hello. It was obvious at that time. So I went back up and finally found it. I was like, I know I have a ton of this. Where did I put it? And it had been just long enough since I did it. I couldn't remember. All right. Now, what am I doing here? One thing I like about her patterns is she not only tells you, but she has lots of pictures. So even if you don't want to read, you can just look at the pictures, like the interfacing parts. She's got them all laying in a picture, all the pieces that are interfaced with the interfacing on it. And then she'll say over there on the side to like, to inside fabric uppers with interface, and tells you where to iron it and stuff. And I'm like, cool, I can just look at that. And now I know it has to be interfaced. And I don't have to sit and read. Inside fabric. Oh, Chloe, you're okay, baby. And I'm probably going to have to get rid of this pen as well and not use the pen moving forward. I like it, Nye. And you say it sounds good because it's super easy. I don't have to do anything. I mean, I literally turn it on and turned YouTube on. I didn't even connect it. I just turned it on after I charged it, and it was instantly connected. Hi, baby. Yeah, you were just trying so hard to get my attention. Oh, darling. I love when she just comes over and just flops at my feet. Hi, sweet pea. Hi. Oh, I know. Hi. Oh, this is making me crazy doing this the slow way, but I have to for the first one. I do everything exactly as the pattern tells me on the very first one, so I know what I'm doing before I start getting silly about it. I think Momo gave up. Yeah, she's asleep on the top steps now. She's like, okay, that human is not feeding me, so it's almost dinner. Almost. She just thinks that I'm here, so it's time to eat. So I started a new workout program in December. It's been 8 months already. But I don't know if anybody's heard of Hotworks. I'm really liking it. I was on the fence as to how I would like it. I really do. I like it. It's amazing how working out in a hot sauna, and it even has infrared energy, which I was like, is that really going to make a difference? And I really wasn't feeling the greatest a couple weeks ago. Who knows? Could have been just a bug or whatever. And my stomach really was just kind of off. And after I went and worked out once, I felt so much better. I mean, I was having like stomach cramps and everything. Went away instantly. And I was like, and then, it kind of came back a little bit later on, the next day, but it went away while I was working out in the sauna itself. And so I don't know if it was just the heat or if the infrared energy really did it, because they say it's healing. But yeah, I was really amazed. I was very happy about that. But yeah, I feel so good. I sleep so good now from it, because I work out with a friend, and her and I'll go late at night because she's got a young, not super young, he's 13, I think, a 13-year-old boy. So she makes sure that, he's ready to go to bed and got his school stuff ready and all that. And then she can sneak off to the gym while dad's with him. And so we go later at night, and it works out really well. I come home and go to bed at my normal time, and I go crawl in bed. And not that I've ever had a problem falling asleep, but man, I fall asleep immediately, because I always think on the way home, oh wow, I've still got energy. Yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And when I get home real quick before I lose my energy, I mean, I've got like maybe a 10-15 minute drive home. By the time I get home, I'm like, and we're going to wash the face and go to bed. That's about all the energy I've got. So yeah, it's really nice. I really like it. And I don't get there every night. 3 to 4 times a week is kind of what it seems to be getting to be. But yeah, it's really relaxing, and we sweat. We do. We sweat a lot. But you can do more when your body is so much warmer. And I knew that. But I can stretch more and better, because they tell us to keep the sauna at about 120 to 130. Well, we keep it closer to 120, because it's that 130 is anytime we even get to 125, we're like, okay, I'm dying, open the door. So we try and keep it on the lower end, but still it does help. You feel your muscles start to relax faster and better. Sorry, I'm off camera here. I've just got my little ironing board on the side. Hi, Chloe. I know I see you. I see you, sweet girl. Hi, baby. Hi. Yeah, it's Sandy. It's starting to become. It's fairly new, but it's a franchise. So I bet you'll start hearing about it in your area soon, if not already, if it's not already there. I know it's pretty much across the US now. We've got just in my town, there's 2 locations already. And then, I probably could call the one that's in a small town just up the road from me the 3rd location, but it's considered a different town. So, yeah, they're people independently own it. So it's a true franchise. But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's open 24 hours. So you have an app and you can get in, through the app, you get into the building. And then the coolest thing about it too is you record the calories you've burned. The app does it for you based upon the workout that you're doing. And they run 3-month times. So you track it over 3 months and then it restarts. But it tracks your calories over the 3 months based upon your weight, your height, and then which workout you did. So it has like predetermined so many calories per pound kind of thing. So it records that for you. And then at the end of the 3 months, depending upon how many calories, and they've got different levels that you've made. So I always try and hit the highest one. I get a $75 gift certificate to spend in their store. So I can get t-shirts, clothing, sprays, supplements, cups. So it's an incentive to try and make the highest level. The second highest is like $50, and I think the third highest is $25. You can't apply it to your monthly rate. I wished you could, but they don't do that. So I get t-shirts and all the goodies. I like their sprays too, because they have like these essential oil sprays that you can put on your towel, because we have like a yoga mat ish and a towel, a special towel that they want you to use that's theirs. It's a liability thing, I think, because it's got like little grippers and stuff on it. But I spray that towel with the essential oils, and it smells so good during the workout. So it's like the sauna with the essential oil smell, and it's just really relaxing. So yeah. Oh, okay. So you've only got one yet. I bet you're gonna get them soon. It's exploding down here, so I bet you guys will see more real soon. I don't know how long they've been around, but it's pre-recorded. So each one of the saunas supposedly holds 3 people. You pre-book them on your app, but 3 is kind of small for 3 people. 2 is better, and it seems like at my location, it's just kind of weird. Nobody really books a workout with somebody you don't know. So if you go to book a workout and there's already somebody in there, you're supposed to be able to go ahead and book it anyways, but nobody does that because that's just kind of, I don't know. We're all just kind of like, yeah, if I don't know, yeah, it's just a small enough space. I'd rather not be in there with a stranger. So yeah, I'm kind of glad that everybody there does that. So yeah. All right, these next. Yeah, I gotta find that other one that I'm missing. I can probably figure it out though. Having to do that. It's just for the lining. I just put that blade in too. I gotta be super careful I don't take off the tip of my finger. Done that a few times. I see some of your comments, Sonia. Are you commenting more? Is that the deal? Because I haven't seen a comment from you in a little while. Yeah, I haven't seen one from you for a little while. So if you've been posting recently, we haven't been seeing them. Oh, Sandy, since you came in, you didn't hear this. So remember my kittens last time when they were kittens? They're 4. They turned 4 on Friday. My babies. I just can't believe that. I was like, how did that happen? Time flew so fast. And these really stuck because they are on that really thin interfacing. Come on, get off of there. Wow, that one stuck really good. Hope I can get it off. That's the other thing I like about these scissors is the point on the end helps you move things. Came right off with that. It does, yeah. I just can't, yeah, can't believe they're 4. Yeah, this Sonia, this lighter interfacing feels good for the strap. By the time I had a little bit of that heat and bond on it, that gave it even just a little bit more structure. Yeah, that feels really good. And by the time I get that little piece of elastic in there too, that should be enough. And this one's still kind of, I don't know, I'm hoping that's not too much. No, that feels like that might be right. Let's see. I forgot that that heat and bond was going to add a little thickness to it too. So realize too, when you guys use heat and bond to put interfacing on anything, it makes it a little stiffer still. So. Thanks, Nye. Yes, we want to see Sonia. I've been doing a lot of the plushy stuffies, whatever people want to call them, for the markets as well, and they're selling really good. And they're fun. They're a lot of fun. You know, it's a nice little thing to do when you're like wanting something just a little different or don't want anything that's super involved. You can do just one little piece of it and have some instant gratification, if nothing else. What time is it? 5:30. Okay. So I've been on for 2 hours, guys. All right. I've got to go feed a Momo. She's given up. She's falling asleep over there. And then I think I got to start sewing on these, and I'm not set up to sew to show you guys. So yeah, yeah. Oh, wait. I'll show you those real quick then before we go anywhere. Hang on. Let's see, where did I put them? They're up here. I've got all my stuff packed away for markets, and I have a specific thing that everything sits in. So I've got to remember, and I switched it up not too long ago. So these will be easy to show you guys real quick. And then I'll hop off after that. First thing I'm going to show you, though, is real cute. I did these little baby hats, and I actually embroidered on them. And they turned out so cute. So these are literally baby hats. These are not toddler hats. Yeah, grab a link to your Discord, Nye, and put it back on there so everybody can jump back on if they're not. So I've got a fox. And the biggest thing is these guys don't have stuffing in their bodies now. So yeah, they can carry them like this technically. And I like the fact they're not stuffed because then they go quicker too. I've got a really big rabbit with big ears. I think she's too big though because she's not selling. Everybody loves her, but I think they like the smaller versions. So I'd only made one of her. So she'll eventually sell. Then I've got the bear with his little hat. I've got two of these. I love his little tail. So I've got, the other guy has a little blue one, little blue hat. I've got the hippo. And this little guy looks like a mad chicken. His eyes are light. But he's fun. He's fun. So, little chicken. No, I did not know. That was just a hat I bought. I think I got it at Walmart or something. These are kind of my favorite. These are the dinos. And I've got the turtle with the flower. This is actually a free pattern. You can find it on YouTube. And you can write the pattern down. I sell a ton of these. These are so cute. And a cow. He's new. I just made him last month. And I know I've got a bunny in here, a little bunny. Where's my bunny? There she is. Nope, not that. There he is, right there. Here's the bunny. I like the littler ones. I don't think I'm going to make any more of those super big ones like that other bunny. That was just a test, and people really, they love it, but it's not selling. So, oh, here's my bunny with the hat. So there's just something about those little hats. I was like, they're so cute. Oh, the patterns. You can buy the patterns. So they are Mama Made Minis, Raven and Jade Co. And who's the other one? There's one on Etsy that I buy from as well. They all follow each other on Instagram. So if you get on Instagram and get into Mama Made Minis and Raven and Jade Co. Then you'll find the third one, and I can't remember what her name is right now. But yeah, these are all just ones that they sell. So yeah, the patterns are super easy to follow too. They're really good at writing the patterns. Now that I'm looking through this, I've got to reorganize this before, and then I made a bunch of these hats. You got to have the hats with the little ears. So I'm making a bunch of those up again. These are even selling in the summer because people are grabbing them for gifts. So I was surprised. I put them out one time. I think it was in June, and I sold like 2 of them. I was like, well, who would have known? So all right. So anyway, good to be back, guys. It's fun to chat with everybody. And I think I'm gonna let y'all go now. So it's been an hour and a half and then some. But well, I'll be back. I might I have a craft show this Saturday and then one the next Saturday. So I'm gonna have 2 a month now for the next couple of months. So I'll probably try and go live if they're not doing music. That's the thing that's gonna hold me back. But other than that, if they're not doing music, I'll try and go live maybe early for a few minutes and say hi to everybody. So if not, I will talk to you guys all really soon, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And yeah, let's all go back to work tomorrow. All right, we'll see you guys. Bye.